So I pulled this out of a system the other day, and I wanted to take a moment to talk about it. I took care to cut it out all as one piece because it's just so beautiful. You know, the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. The complaint was a blockage. The customer called and said one inlet was working and the rest of the house was dead. And the unit was over here, and this is the inlet that was working. So let's start here. We've got a sweep T connection pointed the right way with a short 90-degree elbow. And not just any short 90, but the kind, it's called a combo short 90, and it can be used for a 2x3 wall or for a 2x4 wall. And you can see how it's a little bit slimmer in this dimension, meaning that the pipe actually comes into here. And behind the inlet, it's not a problem. I prefer the regular short 90s personally, but it has no place in the rest of the tubing system. But anyway, that's not what clogged. It worked for 10 years, so we'll keep on going. But the T connection, the branch of the T is above the main line here, and so that's no problem. You can see that there was a section that was below the main line going to the machine. So we've got a couple of things here. This would be called a dropout, like the installer. This is known as a dropout T because debris entering this way isn't all going to get sucked up. Anything that's rolling along the bottom of the pipe instead of moving through with the airstream is just going to go down and sit in here. When you're piping a central vacuum, it's all about the momentum of the dirt. And you have to take into account what the dirt's going to do because it doesn't just flow around a curve. It hits the wall and then it goes. And so any turn it makes, you're actually hitting the wherever that it's whatever direction it's flowing, it's going to keep going until it hits something and then it's going to turn. So you've got this, and then you've got so this line picked up at least two inlets, and you've got another one of these short 90s here. It's bad enough when you have to lift the dirt through a sweep 90-degree elbow. Think of something like a screw or a nut. It's going to go along the bottom of the tube, and it's going to sit there forever until you suck up something like a free flow cloth or big Kleenex or something. Then that might bring it up through into the rest of the tubing. But I bet you anything, and this is where the clog was, by the way. So these inlets were not working, and so this is totally the wrong thing to do. When you're lifting the debris, the proper way to do it is to make it go up a 45-degree or a 30-degree elbow, because then anything you pick up can make its way up there eventually. But having to lift the dirt vertically after a tight 90-degree turn is, well, you're asking for trouble. And it worked for 10 years until the homeowner was attempting to clean up Christmas needles from setting up their Christmas decorations, which, unless the system is properly installed, is asking for trouble. Further down here, nothing wrong with this. You've got a sweep 90 there. You've got a sweep T over here. I highly prefer a Y junction where your line comes in at a 45-degree angle. It's better for the flow. It resists clogging better, and it's a more versatile fitting. For example, I used it, there's three of them here. This one, it just came in at a 45-degree angle toward the main line. For this one, I came off to the side and then went down because proper installation does not allow the use of a dropout T like this. There should be no point where the dirt can collect in an unused branch line. So that was how I got around that. And then finally, this was another one where I used a 45-degree elbow to lift the debris, and then I wired these two together up here. You can take a Y and put a 45 in it so that one line comes out parallel with the other, and then it can come down. And so that was how I did it. The problem is, a lot of times these bad installations, they work for longer than I would expect them to. And so you have an installation done and the thing works and you write the check, and however many years later, where you have a problem because the installation wasn't done right. Obviously, you're past any warranty. The installer is probably gone. In this case, there was no sticker on the machine. Even though the machine was not my favorite one, it still worked well. And now I don't anticipate they will have any trouble now that we've corrected this. Fortunately, it was accessible. That's the other thing is a lot of these systems, the tubing is above a drywalled ceiling where the basement gets finished. So if they had a clog and if this had been in a place where it was not accessible, all I could have done was suction the clog out and tell them don't pick up anything that might, tempt fate, dust and dirt only. And that's kind of lousy. It taints their perception of the whole concept of a central vacuum. Well, they clog easily, only when they're installed like this. So, as in the heating and air industry and the plumbing industry, having an installation that's top notch is at least as important, or I would say more important than having top notch products. And that's that's what I tell clients, and I do believe that. But anyway, I wanted to share this with you. I can see if I can put the after photos of how it looks now. But yeah, got a kick out of that. Thanks for watching.